What's up, everybody? It's Steph back again with another video. In this video we're going to be discussing protecting your energy. We live in a world now that is currently spiritually bankrupt. You know, from everything that is glorified in media, TV, radio, social media, for everything that we see in movies, music, everything that they put in front of us through the form of a screen, you know, where most of us gather our information daily, where most of us, you know, kind of entertain ourselves daily, where we spend a lot of time daily, you know, on our phones, like I said, television screens, whatever it might be, computers. You know, most of the stuff that we see, most of the content that we see, and most of the content that is highly publicized is spiritually bankrupt content, meaning that, you know, it may give us a temporary thrill or a temporary amusement or amazement, but this substance very rarely ever helps us develop or evolve or move forward within ourselves or to overcome, you know, obstacles within ourselves. There's a very small percentage of content that's on these highly advertised or highly published platforms that actually caters to this content, which is another I think another symptom of the world that we live in, as well as all of the corruption, chaos, hate, murder, division, and stuff like that we see into the world. Now this, you know, of course, you know, we see a lot of this in the world, but there is, you know, a good frequency in the world as well. But this is just the things that we see mostly coming from those platforms. The platforms that play a big role in programming us and showing us what the world is, according to these highly respected media sources. So I'm making this video called Protect Your Energy because, you know, with the society that we live in, we don't have to go out of our way to get programmed negatively, you know, based on our media sources and based on what the current frequency of the world is. If you want to go and run into negativity, just step outside of your door. If you want to run into negativity, just step outside and go to the market. You know, go tell your family member what your dream is or what your goal is. I'm pretty sure you can run into more family members than not who will possibly try to tell you how you need to cater more to limitation, especially if you're a person who are a big dreamer, or a person who believes in great possibilities for yourself, a person with a large amount of faith. If you want to get discouraged, go talk to one of your family members. It'll pretty much be instant. Well, whether they just don't say anything at all or they tell you, you know, you need to cater more to limitation and what the status quo is. You need to conform you need to conform to what's most widely accepted or commonly pursued. And it's so easy to get caught up in a cycle of negative energy. It's so easy to have others plant seeds of doubt or negative energy into you, if those people are not the same type of energy vibration that you are, or not operating on the same type of energy vibration. So it's important that if you are a person who's doing a lot of inner work, or you're looking to grow spiritually, or you're looking to expand your consciousness, or you're looking to get more of the truthful substance out of life, you have to protect your energy. You have to be careful to who you confide in. You have to be careful of the people you surround yourself with. You have to be careful of what you allow yourself to view and digest and take in daily, as far as information and even your diet goes. So as far as protecting your energy, you know, you have to more so live in a mindset that the world you live in is against you. Because in a sense it is, you know, at least from a societal standpoint, because of the reasons that we just spoke of. So you have to be vigilant in filtering out sources of energy that do not lift you up, that do not inspire you, that do not empower you, and that do not push you more closely to where you're going in life, to where you feel like the universe is calling you, to what you feel like your purpose is. You have to intentionally You have to stop watching the news. Stop watching the news because there's nothing on there but poison for your spirit. The news is 99% negative, 99% toxic. There's very rarely anything positive going on in the news. You have to be careful to the music and, you know, even the things that you watch on TV, the way you program your mind. Because if you're a person who values peace and gaining more peace and gaining more solid, you know, serenity and, you know, happiness in your life, you have to filter out the negative things that are commonly, you know, put into the programming that we watch daily. You know, it's really hilarious once you take a step back and you really think about the world we live in and the things that are highly publicized and glorified and things like that, and you know how you really have to take it upon yourself to not fall in line with what the programming of society is. And you'll find that once you start to protect your energy and once you start to set yourself apart and not participate in whatever you want to call it. You can call it the matrix, you can call it to being a regular human being. Once you decide to set yourself apart, you know, people will start to look at you funny because you're beginning to think for yourself. You're beginning to be less of a robot and programmable by the government and programmable by TV and whatever else they tell you to believe on the big screen. And it's really, in a sense, it's sort of, if you think about it this way, okay, we know what we see on TV, we know what we see in the news, we know what we hear on the radio, but the questions that not enough of us ask is who's making the decisions on what's put in the media, who's making the decisions on what's glorified or more highly publicized than others. And when we start to trace that trail and to get answers to that question, we begin to find that there is a very small group of people who actually control what goes on the news and what's popular, what's trending on social media, the things that go viral, the agendas, the political agendas that are the umbrellas to the things that we see on the news. There's a very small group of people who control that. And you have to ask yourself, what is your life worth to you? Do you want to spend your life as a collateral to a very small, powerful group of people, or do you want to live according to your purpose and what you would define as your most beautiful life experience? And once you can identify what you want to do, you have to step out in courage to actually live that journey, to actually live against the standard, to the universal standard, to live against what's most widely and commonly accepted and pursued and believed. You have to step out on courage to actually begin to think for yourself and to be willing to have that type of dialogue with people who don't necessarily do that. Who actually believe and digest and, you know, accept anything that they're told by media platforms or by quote unquote these organizations who are supposedly the experts on things like food and consumer products and all of that. You have to begin to, if you want to protect your energy, you have to begin to do your own research. And that's a part of thinking for yourself. You have to be diligent and gathering information. You have to enjoy the process of educating yourself and edifying your own mind. That takes courage, that takes diligence, persistence, and it takes actually valuing yourself enough to give yourself justice. So do your own research on what's healthy. Do your own research on what's actually going on in the world outside of what you see on the news. Do your own research regarding everything in your life, and also protecting your energy is, you know, knowing where you're trying to go and fostering your life environment to cater to that. And sometimes that looks like you removing, you know, people or distancing yourself from people who don't push you closer toward that positivity, who don't push you closer toward that big dream, who don't push you closer toward that big goal. Because it's inevitable that if you keep yourself surrounded with people who don't have the energy to support your vision, they're going to drain you and they're going to pull you down. So you need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who have like energy. You need to put yourself in circles, social circles with people who understand you and who are pursuing similar journeys for themselves, because once you do that, you'll find that you'll go much further than continuing to hang around people who don't understand you, who don't have the same energy, who are negative, pessimistic. They call themselves realists. No, it's okay to be a realist, but there are people who abide on the negative extreme of that spectrum. It's okay to be realistic, but it's also okay to be realistic while having faith, while believing in a big vision or a big goal, because it's possible. And you'll find that, you know, everybody who's ever accomplished anything great in life, they started off with the belief that they could, and they also all experience being, well, doubters and naysayers trying to discourage them. But you have to muscle through that. And when you're standing up for what you believe in and what you think is right and what you think is most healthy for you, you have to be willing to not let what anybody else believes discourage you. You have to accept yourself fully for who you are and take pride in the unique and distinct journey that you have put yourself on to be different, to not be the same as everybody else. That takes true courage, that takes true strength. And often what we hear as far as being true courage and true strength is just sucking it up and just falling in line with everybody else, do what everybody else is doing. No. I think that's fear, personally. So we can either be fearful and conform to the world around us, or we can be fearful and we can compromise everything that we feel is true to ourselves, or we can just decide, you know what, at the end of the day, only I can make me happy. You know, at the end of the day, I pay my bills. At the end of the day, you know, people are thinking about themselves. At the end of the day, nobody can be happy for me. Nobody can achieve anything for me. I have to do it. And you have to be willing to accept what comes with that, because, you know, the one thing about it is, in the beginning, nobody believes in you, or nobody, you know, wants to deviate from what the status quo is. But once they seek success, you know, they want to jump on board quickly. Oh, I always knew you could do it. Or, you know, oh yeah, so this is what's trending now. Now we can talk about it. Now that it doesn't seem so foreign or weird, now we can talk about it. You know, or, you know, it's just be okay with not having everybody be okay with where you're going and what you're pursuing. And be diligent in looking out for your well-being, and you'll find that you'll have a better version of yourself to offer to yourself and to the world around you, and you'll be more happy and free inside, and you'll be closer to your destiny. Live for the guidance that you receive within, because not everybody is meant to go where you're meant to go, and you're not meant to go where everybody else is going. And be okay with that. You know, protect your energy. Protect your energy, because you have your energy for a reason. You were born to be different. You were born to walk your own journey. And protect that at all costs, because it's what makes you you. It's what makes you you, and it's what makes you special in this whole sea of beings who live on this earth. Thank you for watching this video. I will continue to make these videos daily. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, go back and watch some of them. And I hope that you find encouragement and empowerment. And just thank you for watching. And please like and subscribe and continue on this journey with me and join my community. Peace.